Manchester United has just lost to Grimsby Town. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Grimsby Town. Whew. So if you don't know who Grimsby are, which I wouldn't be surprised if you don't, Grimsby are a League Two team. So their team, there's a Premier League, there's a Championship, there's League One, and there's League Two. That's where Grimsby are, and that's who we just lost to. We went 2-0 down. We ended up making a comeback somehow. By then, I've already lost hope. Also, FYI, if I sound weird, I'm a little sick. So that's why I haven't been posting as much. But as soon as I get better, I'll post a little bit. I just had to post because this is ridiculous. But as I was saying, we went 2-0 down. And we ended up equalizing. And honestly, at that point, I've lost hope. It doesn't matter whether you win or... it does matter if you win or lose. But at that point, if we would have won, it'd still be a disgrace, right? This is a team that we're expected to beat at least 2-0, 3-4-0, right? For us to be 2-0 down in the first half is absolutely ridiculous. However, we ended up equalizing, going to pens, and we ended up losing in pens. 12-11. There's a few things I want to say. I feel like... I don't know. Okay, so their first goal, Onana could have done better. It was right next to him. He's such a bad goalie. He's such a bad goalkeeper. I just don't know. I can't comprehend it. He's such a bad goalkeeper. And then you have their second goal. How was their second goal? I'm trying to remember. Oh Lord. Onana came out to get the ball from a corner, as we all do, or from a cross, but I think it was a corner. Regardless, it was a cross, and he missed it, fell over on one of the Grimsby players. However, the ball landed perfectly for one of the other Grimsby players, and he just tapped it in. So, in my opinion, those are two goalkeeping errors. Those are two goals that could have been prevented with just better goalkeeping overall. That being said, the overall team's play wasn't good enough. I mean, for us to not even score a goal in the first half and to allow them to score, for them to get in our vicinity, it's just I just don't understand. Like we play like this against Premier League opposition and we say, we're not good enough, we don't have the physicality for the Premier League, we don't have the athleticism. But then we play that same way against a League Two opposition. What do you say? Like, you can't, we have a better squad. It doesn't matter what formation you put out. It doesn't matter what players you put out. Overall, we're better than them. We should win. We are better than that team. So, I'm confused. And my theory has always been that when United play against anyone, they always play better, right? I mean, if one team is going to play against United, whether it's lower opposition or Liverpool, for example, they're always going to play better against United than they would any other team. The reason why is because you are playing Manchester United. Whatever that means nowadays, it used to mean a lot more in the past, but whatever that means nowadays, you are playing Manchester United. Teams show up more, they're more physical, they're stronger, and I think because of that, it's a little harder for us. Now, is that a victim mentality? Maybe slightly, but that being said, it's true, right? Now, against teams like Grimsby, of course they're going to come harder. They're playing against Manchester United. They have no pressure on them because they're expected to lose. However, they're going to play like they've never played before, right? But I also think part of it is, as a Manchester United player, especially considering how bad we've been, there's so much pressure on these players to perform, even if it's against lower opposition. Especially if it's against lower opposition. There's so much pressure that, for me, it's so much harder for these players to perform than it should be, right? Because think about it like this, okay? Let's say, you're playing the team, right? You're expected to win as Manchester United. Not only would the team come hard at you because they are Manchester United, because they are playing against Manchester United. If you lose, okay, there's a lot of pressure on United because we're always expected to win. We're expected to win every game. And against lower opposition, the pressure is even technically more sometimes because whether you win or lose, it's sort of a lose-lose situation in the sense that, yeah, if you win, you should have won. Okay, no conversation needed. And then if you lose, then that's even worse, and there's more pressure on the team. So to me, I feel like it's just super hard for these players to perform considering how much pressure is on them. And I think that kind of helps, that kind of reduces how capable the team is in terms of like a chemistry standpoint where, simple passes that we should be connecting, we just don't seem to do that. It's just sad. It's just sad. We're knocked out of the Carabao Cup. First game of the Carabao Cup against a League Two opposition, a League Two team. Manchester United is knocked out. I mean, it's incredible. It's crazy. It's incredible. I mean, we had 70% possession. So maybe that counts for something. We had, 28 shots on target 9. A few big chances that we probably could have ended. It's maybe it's a little sad just because, okay, so during the penalty shootout, Mateus Cunha missed one, and that was the one that, if he scored, we would have won. That was like the 5th penalty. If we scored, we would have won. He missed it. It's okay to miss a penalty. It happens. We go full circle, and then it got to the point where Mboma had to play in order for us to keep playing, and he missed his. And it's just very interesting that the 2 players that we signed were the 2 players that missed the penalty. But you can't really blame it on them. I thought Cunha played well throughout the game. Well is an overstatement. He played okay. He was one of our better players throughout the game, but that doesn't really mean much considering how bad we played. And then obviously, if it wasn't for Mboma, we wouldn't have gone to pens in the first place. He scored that first goal, which started a comeback. So you can't really blame these 2 players for anything. If anything, for me, who do you blame? You have to blame the manager. Do I think Ruben Amorim should leave? No, ideally, no, I don't. Because at the end of the day, it's a cycle, right? Like, we've been doing this over and over again where, we have a manager, we bring them in, it doesn't go well, we sack them. All the players we brought for that manager are just there now, right? We bring in another manager, and it's the same thing over and over again. If we were to sack Ruben Amorim now, that same thing is just going to keep on happening, right? It's just a repeat of the cycle that's been happening for years now. So I think first of all, he should be allowed to stay at Manchester United, fix up the team, but I do think that he needs to adapt his system. I think, I'm all for the 4, the 3-4-2-1 formation that he uses, but I'm really struggling to believe that that's suitable for the Premier League at the moment. Like, I get it works in Portugal. It's a lower league at the end of the day, but I just don't know if that system works in this league. I mean, I just can't see it. I feel like we're just too exposed at the back. The pressuring that the Premier League teams do, English teams in general do, is just too intense for us to have 3 at the back. Because once we lose it, we're too vulnerable. You either have amazing players in all those positions that can play through them, but once you don't, it just doesn't work. So I do think he needs to, maybe move his system, and that's going to be tough now, considering that that's kind of what all of last season was about. Is about him playing that formation, him sticking to that formation, him, you have to bring players that can fit the formation, and then it will work. You can't start switching things up and making it flexible, not flexible, and just making it different. And so to say, okay, now it's not working, to switch it up, it's a lose-lose for Ruben Amorim, because, okay, if he switches it up, then it's like everything you said last season about sticking to it all gets invalidated. If you don't switch it up and you keep losing, then it's like, okay, why aren't you switching it up? And then eventually you get sacked, right? So, because you can't just keep losing. So, for me, yeah, I think we need to switch up the system. But I don't know. I think ultimately the players need to take responsibility, because no matter what system you play, you should be beating a team like this easily. In my opinion, you should be beating a team like this easily. I don't know if, like, the moment they step into the Manchester United club, they wear the United shirt, they just don't have the confidence to play. Because if you look at, I was watching the, different Premier League games and just the highlights of goals. At the end of the day, a lot of goals are just won through quality. There's not many team goals that you see like nowadays, right? Because I feel like Liverpool had their team goal against what was it, Newcastle, that they just won. Was it Newcastle? They won last minute. Um, but a lot of goals are just scoring through pure quality, right? Our United players, we don't have like, not that we don't have, but the players don't show their quality in the way that we should. You know, you at least for every Premier League team, like they have someone who, one game, is shooting it outside the box and scoring. Another game, okay, like maybe some intricate passes, maybe some good finishing, some good runs, even a good pass to assist. Just quality here and there. Like everything's about quality. United just don't. When you watch us play, there just is no quality in the team. And it's not that we don't have the players. I just feel like I don't know if it might just be like a lack of confidence. I just don't understand. When you watch this team, you just cannot understand what is going on right now. So yeah, knocked out of the Carabao Cup. Is it the end of the world? No, I think at the end of the day we should focus on the Premier League and finishing at a top 6 spot in one of the European spots, at least top 10. That being said, with the way our season is going, the way we played against Arsenal, looking all positive, against Fulham, looking a lot less positive, and then obviously against Grimsby, it just went from bad to worse. So yeah, I don't know. Do I have faith in this season? For Manchester United, no. My faith is gone. Do I think Amarin should leave? No. I think he needs to stay. And yeah, I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens later on in the season. I think I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I just don't know. I just don't know. We've brought two fantastic Premier League players. And honestly, to be honest, they're the only ones that are really doing something good in this team. They really are. They really are the only ones that are doing something like of quality in this team. Brian Mbeumo's goal was class, and then Mateus Cunha, when you watch him play, he actually he takes initiative. He tries to make things happen. Always play on the front foot. So it's like we have two players that are finally trying to make things happen, and are showing that class, but. Everyone else just look below average. It's hard for me to believe that that's the level these players are actually at. So if you ask me, I don't know what's happening. I don't know why this team is the way it is, but I guess time will tell. And hopefully we can make a comeback in the season. Now we're playing so bad, we can start to play better. But I think Ruben Amorim, I see a lot of people calling for Ruben Amorim's head. I think he needs to stay. I think he needs to stay, build the team that he wants to build, properly instill some of his ideas onto the team, and overall just relieve the pressure that his team experiences. And we can't just keep changing managers. We can't. So yeah, I guess that's my take. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any different thoughts. I'm sure you do. So leave a comment below. Go ahead and subscribe if you like what you see, and leave a like because that helps a lot. Again, I'm sick, so I sound a little weird. Hopefully I get better soon, but thanks for watching. Peace.